Okay, what's up, NFFC crew? It's Derek here. Going to attempt to do a FAAB video for you. Nice rainy Friday just south of the Vikings training camp today. So, going to try and get through this in about 15 to 20 minutes. Hopefully, I know you don't want to hear me talk that long, anyways. So, real quick before we get into the FAAB, I'm just sitting here on the NFFC homepage. Now, again, different website than last year. We're off the stats platform. So, you won't see, you can't see my actual web here. I'm actually on our development site, but it's the new website is playnfc.com, and it'll get you right to the front page here. So real quick before we get into the FAAB, I want to just mention a couple things that have come up on emails and stuff. Right here, this is kind of like your, I don't know what the logo is. It looks like a person, the head of a person, I guess. Right in here, if you click on that, it'll show you real quick your balance, which is right here, which would echo that. If you do have any credits, say you have a $50 credit for something or like that, it will not show up here in the balance. It will show here credits. So credits cannot be taken out for cash at any time. Only the balance can do that. So if you ever have something here in credits, that's something you need to use in a sign up, and that will come off a sign up. Also, right here, make a payment. This is where you can click on, and this is how you deposit into your wallet, if you will. You can you request payout here. So that's kind of new this year as we switched everything over to the FanBall wallet. And once we get into a team of mine, I've also got a couple other things to show you. But let's get started here. So again, I'm right on the front page, NFFC. So I'm going to go just click on my teams here and go right into my teams. Now, as you see, this lists all my teams, kind of by satellites. You got high stakes, primetime, online. Again, these are all simulated teams in our development. So worry more about the processes here than some of the names we might end up using. Again, these are just simulated leagues that were cut for certain purposes to test stuff. So I'm going to use about 3 of them. Now, again, showing this FAAB video, this whole FAAB deal is about saving you guys time, right? So this will work for 1 team, or it'll work for 3 teams, or 13, or 25, or 50 if you have that many. So I'm going to probably do a demonstration on about 3 teams, just kind of show you the gist of what's going on, and then you can apply it to everything. We got a couple of new fun things here. So I'm going to go into one of my looks like an ultimate team here. So FAAB demo ultimate team. Now, what I want to show you right now, that defaults to just rosters essentially. During the season, it'll default just like baseball does to set lineup page. But a couple quick things I want to show you here. Now that I'm inside a team, there's a couple of cool things. Stats. This is where you'll see live scoring once all this goes live and whatnot. But right now, if you click on player shares, now you saw those teams that I had. Here's the amount of times that these guys are on my team. So it'll show you how many shares you have and what percentage of teams you're on. Kind of something we took with the NFL 10s when we came over. We brought it over here. So if you have 40 teams, you want to see how many times you have Larry Fitzgerald, you're able to see that now. So that's a good spot. Also, when you're in your team's resources, this is where the ADP resides at this point. And transactions, this is where you'll set your lineups, also you do FAAB. And then when we get down here at the end of the video, I'm going to show you this new pending FAAB page that we added during the baseball season, which I think is great. Lets you summarize stuff right before the FAAB deadline. So I'll show you that once we get rolling. So, all right, I'm going to go right back to my, I'm going to go home, back to my teams here. So my teams page. So we'll just get going with some of the early stuff. One thing that we brought this year that we had at Stats, and we currently have in baseball, but it wasn't really developed very well at Stats, is this, actually it's in home. I'm going to go back to the home page real quick, NFC home. So front page, it's here somewhere. Let's see. All right, I'll worry about when I get there. I'm going to go back to my teams. It's something I want to show you. All right, so let's go into a team here. FAAB demo update. Let's go. All right, so here it is. Here's what I was looking for. Home, my watch list. This is what I wanted to start with. So it resides here. You can also get to it basically from the FAAB as well. So right now I don't have anybody on my watch list. So I'm going to click on it real quick, show you there's nothing there. So we'll just go back, but watch list, it's universal, if you will. So if you can see all these are gray right now. I don't know how well that'll come through, but if I end up clicking on any one of them, it's like an eyeball. It turns blue at this point. So let's say for some reason I want to keep my eye on Lamar Miller. Again, don't worry about the names here. Think about the process. I know he's going to be on every team. But so there's guys here that I just want to do watch list. So I got it there. So now if I go home, watch list, I clicked on those 3 guys. They'll show up here. Jarvis Landry, Doug Baldwin, Lamar Miller. So again, this is universal. So if you have 30 teams, every team you go into, when you click on home watch list, all these guys will be there until you remove them. It doesn't matter if they're actually on a team or if they're free agents. It works either way. Sometimes you want to just keep an eye on a guy that might be on someone's team. He might be a free agent. So anyways, you can always take them off. You just undo the eyes, and then if you went to home, my watch list again, they'd be gone. So that's something real quick. So that's available anywhere essentially from the home, and you can also do once you're in the FAAB. So let's actually get into the FAAB. So we'll go to transactions, free agents. Now again, name's not important here because, again, these are simulated leagues. There may be some guys that shouldn't be a free agent that are, but let's just work with what we have here. So you can filter first here by any position you want, of course. It's default sets to all. You can search by any NFL team if you need to. And then you can also filter just by watch list. So if I had those 3 guys still on my watch list, if I click here, now there's no one there. But if there were guys there, you can filter that, or filter guys not on watch list, or just the default, which is that. And then anywhere here, this is your player search button. So this is a cool thing too now, and I'll show you that after a minute. But let's just kind of get into building a claim list. I know some of this is very vanilla for some of you guys. Bear with me. I'm doing this for the newbies as well as the savvy vets. So let's just get into building a claim list here. So I'm going to filter. Let's keep it simple by quarterbacks. All right, everybody's favorite quarterback, Brett Hundley, low. So let's say I got to put a bid in on Brett Hundley this week. So click on it here. He'll come over. What I want to show you first here is it will default to $1 to start with, obviously. That's how you do it. Real quick, this is your delete. This is your conditional player. So let's say you want to build a list of, you're going to need a quarterback. So you're going to let's build a list of like 3. So here's the conditional. And let's just add Trevor Siemian and Deshaun Kaiser. They'll load the same as same price as what Hundley was, because that's still your default. And this red X, think of as the default. There's times where you can change it, and I'll show you this in a little bit, where you change a claim list and you can move the default around and add guys at different prices. But at this point, simple claim list. Brett Hundley, Siemian, Kaiser. Let's actually add Carson Palmer. I know he's retired, and let's add Brock Osweiler for the fun of it. All right, so now I got a list here, all at $1, and I haven't chosen anyone to drop yet. So like if you click here, it'll give me guys I can drop on my team. It's my roster now. It just shows my quarterback. So let's actually filter all positions here. So it'll show me all the guys on my team. Let's say we don't need Seth DeValve. So he will drop. I want you to notice real quick, we were on the top one. He will waterfall all the way down in that case, which obviously was the case in the past as well. However, it only waterfalls from the top. Keep that in mind. If you change somebody in the middle, if I change Seth DeValve right here to Gallman or something, he will not waterfall down. He will just be Gallman there, and you'll still see DeValve down here, DeValve here, DeValve here. So real quick on that, that's how you do it. Now, I also want to show you we have drag and drop. If you want to claim, you can move guys around. All of a sudden you think Simeon's the better pickup. Arrows work the same way. Arrows work a lot better on iPads. Drag and drop works great on laptops and everything else. To each their own. Pick what you want there. So let's get into building this real quick. Again, let's say Brett Hundley feels like an $8 bid. I don't know why anyone would do that, but let's just for purposes here, $8, and then you feel Kaiser maybe $5, and you'll pay $3 for Siemian, $2 for Palmer, and let's keep $2 for Palmer. Keep Osweiler at $1. All right, so there you got your prices set. So what we have this year is basically, I still don't know. I used the word portal on the baseball video. I don't know if I've heard of a better term yet, Phil. So let's just use that. At this case, when you drag and drop, because condition. This is okay. Primary bid. I think everyone's comfortable with that. Everything else is a secondary bid, right? So prime or a conditional bid. Conditional bids can never be more than a primary. So you can't have $25 here. If I do that, it's gonna error me and it's gonna drop it back to what it was, because you have to have conditional bid be less than the bid above it. So what you can do with the drag and drops, if I drag like Kaiser all the way down to the bottom. Because the last one he went through was Osweiler, he took Osweiler's value on. So this works either way. So now if I move Osweiler like up over Simeon, the last one he passed through was Simeon, so he gets the $3. That'll work whether you're doing the arrows. If you move him up, he'll change to 8 eventually there. There you go. So that's how the drag and drops work, and with that. So, a little bit different than stats. You couldn't really necessarily do that back then, so that's a definite improvement for your football guys. Saves you some time. Still have the copy claim list. So let's say we're going to drop 2 guys. So we want to copy, easy enough to just, that's delete, excuse me, copy claim list right there. All that does is it'll just give me the exact same claim list. You can also, if you do a bunch of these claim lists, you'll see they'll get pretty long. So let's say I copied it again. You'll see how it's coming down, and then I'm kind of losing the top. So you can always toggle right here as well when you're working on one, so that you can still see your roster over here, free agents roster. So another little trick right there that works. So okay, I got 3 claim lists here. All 3 exactly the same at this point. So let's say on my second claim list, you don't have to cancel the guy out because it would take Osweiler as your bid on your primary, but I always just do this for keeps my sanity when I'm looking. So I take the top guy out, next guy's there, but now this time I'm not wanting to drop Set the Valve because if I drop him in the first one, I can't. So if I go down here, let's choose Malcolm Brown. Malcolm Brown will waterfall all the way down. So there you go. Pretty simple, straight up. I think most people understand that. So there you go. That's kind of that's all you really need to know about the claim list. Watch list is I think a really good deal. So I'm going to just get rid of all these claim lists. Actually, I'll just leave them here. Let's go into another team. So back to home, my teams. I'll just use another one. Let's go into the RotoWire. All right, so let's do a quick watch list here. I'm just going to add some guys like Breida, Cooks, and I know again these guys are on people's teams, but all right. So we go in. We've created a watch list. Now we can actually go home. My watch list again, it's universal. So any team you'd pull up now, you'd actually see these same guys. I'll actually show you that. Let's go in. Let's go back to another team, just so that you believe what I'm saying. Let's go back. We were in that one. Let's go to over to the primetime team. Home watch list. Excuse me. That stuff carries over. So there you go. There's it. Like I said, it's a universal watch list. You have it checked. You can pull it up on any roster you got. All right. So let's go back to the primetime that we were going. Actually, I don't have to. I can just do it right from here. All right. Transactions. We're gonna go back in. Free agents as they pop up here after football's done spinning. Let's build a running back list just for the fun of it. Let's go Yeldon, Booker, Washington, West, Barber. And since I didn't hit conditional there, notice I created 5 claims list, and I did that on purpose just to do it. So I'm gonna get rid of all these other ones. Remember the red X. The red X means when you see a red X, that's your conditional queue. So you got to come over here. Now let's build a list. Booker, West is fine. Barber, use check. Okay, so there's my bid. Bid list, claim list 1. Figure out someone to drop. And again, it's filtered on running back right now, so let's go back to all positions. I can see my whole roster. I don't like Brandon Marshall this year, so he's my drop. All right, so let's do real quick. Let's just make this fun. I don't know, 8, 4, 3, 1, 1. All right, so at this point, I got my claim list, and maybe it's coming up on deadline time or something like that, and all of a sudden you decide, well, you know what, maybe I really only want Yeldon most as a running back, and if I don't, maybe I'd settle for all the other ones. But if I don't get Yeldon, maybe I want Chris Godwin next. So I can come right here, click on it, get your conditional, so he'll come right in. You feel you'd pay the same price for Godwin, right? So what you're going to see is Godwin came in right here under Yeldon at the $8 price. Again, you can always change that and use the arrows up and down, but I wanted to show you. So if I added someone here, you're going to see him come in right under Devontae Booker. Okay, so same thing. Now, let's say if you're getting a running back, you're going to drop Brandon Marshall. Maybe this isn't the best case. First, let me change real quick my team. So if I pick up a running back, I'm going to drop James White, let's say, just for funniness sake. So as you see now, waterfall to James White is being the drop on all of them. Let's say, but if I get Chris Godwin, I don't want to drop a running back because I won't have enough running backs at that point. So again, I can filter. Let's drop a wide receiver. And we'll drop D.D. Westbrook in case I get Chris Godwin. So again, Westbrook does not waterfall. He only took the place in Godwin there. So just real quick, I want something else I wanted to show you there. Again, it only waterfalls from the top down, and that's because, if you get to the 11th hour and it's FAAB on Wednesday night or Friday night, and you've done all this work and you have 100 claim lists and 100 guys long, and then you change the top bid or the top guy or anything in between, if you would ruin your whole entire work that you've done. So that's the case why it only does it from certain spots on the top. So that's pretty much the new FAAB. I mean, again, it's designed to save time. It's designed, the drag and drop, the conditional bids. It's not a whole lot to it. I mean, again, you baseball guys are well familiar with how it works now. Let me show you at the end. Now, let's say you guys saw at the beginning I had all those teams, right? I had, I don't know, probably 20 teams there or whatever. At the end, when you get, this is something that we added for baseball, you go to pending FAAB. So what this will do is show me all my teams that are, FAAB eligible, so no draft champions wouldn't be on here or anything like that, NFFC 25s or anything, but everything else that has FAAB will show up. Now, you remember those claim lists that we built? It'll show you here, so here's the ultimate team, here's the primetime team. We didn't build one in the RotoWire, but so it'll show you all your claim lists on one page here, which is perfect. That way you can do a quick examination at the end, make sure you didn't screw up a bid or you didn't have the wrong guy dropping. It's just a great summary page. I wish we would have had this at the beginning of baseball. It would have saved one of our good players a horrendous mistake bid, but that's the reason we added it. So shout out to KJ on that one. But this is just great. It gives you a chance to look at it, summarize, and if you don't like something, in each league right here, you can see FAAB page. Click on the FAAB page. And there you go. It brings you right back into that league. So if you need to adjust something, you adjust it if you need to. So now for the biggie. The free agent player search is kind of the best thing that I like about everything that's brand new. So let's go into, you can do this from anywhere. Essentially, let's do the player search, actually. I'm in FAAB. Actually, let's just go to, I'm going to be on my set lineup page. That's what a set lineup page looks like at this point. There may be some tweaks before we totally finalize it, but it'll get out there quick. So player search, let's just put in, I was pulling up baseball guys right now, so let's just put in Kyle Sloter, third string quarterback for the Vikings, big arm. So, that's my team search, sorry. All right, let's just go back into the FAAB. That just pulls it up by team there when you're on your team. So player search right here. We're in FAAB. Kyle Sloter. Okay, there you go. So pull up Kyle Sloter. And this, you can click on these guys' names anywhere you find them. You could be on a news page or anything like that. So it works from there as well. So, all right, click on Kyle Sloter. No picture of him yet or anything like that, but 6'3", 218, 24 years old. But here's the big thing. So you got news about him, season stats if he had any, game log, obviously nothing yet, but free agency. So here's what's great. So now you click on that free agency tab. Here's the list of all my teams that are FAAB eligible. Is he a free agent? Yes, he is on all of them because obviously no one's going to draft Kyle Sloter, not even in a simulation. So what you can do from right here, click on the bid. If I wanted to bid on him, it shows me a $1 bid. Shows me my budget in that league, which is fantastic, and it allows me to pick one player to drop. So let's say, just for whatever reason, I'm gonna put a $4 bid on Kyle Sloter. It's in the, it tells me NFFC Diamond League here, Diamond 50. So I go in and okay, I'm gonna drop. If I pick him up, I'm gonna drop Tyler Croft. So right there, now that's saved. Actually, you have nothing else to do at that point. That for that league, now I can go into my FAAB page where it allows me to right there. Excuse me, sorry. And it has built that claim list for me. Now you can, now you can adjust it with other guys. So if you needed to do conditionals, you can go through that whole process again. So that's what I like about that. And you could do that for any hot player. So, you're on the Sloter, back to the Sloter page, pull up his, click on it, Derek, there you go. Back to his free agency. So So you can look at it again. So if you wanted to put a $4 bid in on all these, you could set that up real quick, and then you can pick a player every time if you need to, or you could just go quick and get all your bids in there, knowing that you're going to come back at a different time, maybe pick players, and of course you can go into every league's FAAB page and tweak it as much as necessary. So that's a quick way to see if you have a guy that's on some teams and not. Now again, Sloter's not on any. So if let's say we had a fringy guy, maybe like a John Brown's not on some rosters right now or something. If you did the same thing for John Brown, maybe somebody has him in a diamond league, so it would say no here, no, and it would tell you whose team he's on. So then you wouldn't be able to obviously bid on him, but at least you can see if he's owned in any league. So that free agent, tab, if you will, from a player page is very significant in helping you be able to see if guys are available, not having to search every single league. If you know it's a guy you love and you're going to bid on him in every league, here's a quick way to start it. Again, you got to go back into each team if you're going to add conditionals, but you can do everything right from here if you're just going to know the one guy you're going to drop. So that in essence saves you a ton of time searching for players and doing the FAAB part of it. So that's essentially it. Nothing else really comes off needing to be answered, I don't think, in terms of FAAB. Again, this is just showing you the quick ways to save you as much time as possible. Allows you to have more teams, if you will, because I know that's the key to everything. Wednesday night, that's building your claim list on Wednesday. It's a beast. I used to do it. I had 22 RotoWire teams one year, so I know the pain that FAAB can be. So we're doing everything we can to help you make it simple. So I'm gonna actually, once I get this posted in the thread, feel free to shoot off any questions. Concerns you might have. I may have missed something. This is very similar to the baseball video, but if I have to, if I miss something and I need to do a second video to show what a bunch of questions are, we'll certainly do that. But other than that, I think FAAB is so much better. You football guys will see than it was last year. So if you haven't jumped in yet because you're waiting to see this, please jump in. If you see this and you like it, comment. Get more teams. This definitely saves you time. So, I think it cuts stuff down probably by half at least, is my estimation. So, if you could do 15 easy last year, you can do 30 easy this year. So, I'm going to get this posted, and like I said, let me know what you think. Thanks.